Hi everyone, it's Kate from The Fold Line. I am back this week with the edit. I hope you're well and having a nice weekend. I've got lots of good stuff to talk to you about this week, so settle in, get yourself your beverage of choice, and I will get cracking. So first things first, Kylie and the Machine Advent Calendar. I know I spoke about this quite a while ago, but we're now in November. There aren't loads left, so if you were thinking about buying one, I would go ahead and do it now so that you don't miss out. If you haven't seen this, it is a advent calendar full of labels. They are absolutely beautiful. So I think you get 65 labels, so you get a few each day. And there is a link. I'll pop links to everything I talk about down below. If you want to see what labels you're getting, which I am that sort of person where I want to know what I'm getting before I buy it. There is a link at the bottom and you can look and go and have a look at them, and the designs are really beautiful. So yeah, that is there for you. Next up, we've got the latest issue of Selvedge. This one, particularly this time of year, this one just before Christmas, I always really love because it feels, I don't know, they always have a really interesting topic. And for anyone who hasn't come across Selvedge magazine before, it is a magazine based around cloth. So there aren't patterns in it, but they are articles all based around a theme each month, with a sort of thread running through it. See what I did there? Thread running through it is fabric. So this one is, it says, as the evenings draw in and the daylight fades, we turn our attention to light, symbiotic and spiritual present. And it's all about the kind of change in season and the kind of the northern lights and what that offers, and that it sounds quite kind of ethereal, being the kind of theme this time. I'll pop some pictures so you can have an idea of what some of the articles are, but they are always fascinating. Like, you will learn, I always learn something really interesting with each issue, so that is there if you feel like you want a little autumn treat but you're not don't want ones with patterns in. This is the way to go. Next up, we have got the Dayscape top from Les Perlines. I love this. I think it's great. So PDF only for this. Sizing is a UK 6 to 32. There are lots of different options with this, and I think it's really beautiful. It's quite simple, but there's some lovely details. So maybe let's start with the line drawing so we can see what's going on. It's got a lovely square neckline. There's a channel through the front here which has got a tie, which means it's kind of lovely and loose. There are two different length options for the top, so you can go for a shorter one, which is perfect with a high waist jean, or a slightly longer one if you like it tucked in. The back, you can see there is this lovely kind of keyhole detail. So there's a little a tie at the back, and then I'm assuming it's a panel of elastic so that you can pull it over you. I think it is. I had a look and it didn't quite say, so I'm not 100% sure. Then you can choose between 3 different sleeve options. So you can either have a little cropped sleeve, you can have a cropped puff sleeve that's got elastic at the bottom for the cuffing, or a full length sleeve, which in the UK, for us at the moment, is probably better. But yeah, I just thought this feels like a really great basic top that you could dress up or dress down. Simple construction, nice details. It's an absolute win for me. So I think this is a really fantastic option. If you're looking for a little bit of, autumn sew. I don't know why I'm shaking myself like this, but yeah. Next up, we have got a lovely, I am obsessed with this, jacket from So Liberated. It's called the Retazo coat and vest. Apologies for anyone who got upset about the quilting. There's a little bit of quilting in here. So this is a jacket, a quilted jacket. It's designed so that you can either make it yourself, so you can quilt as you go, or you can buy, if you wanted to buy an old quilt, or if you've got an old quilt that you don't use and you were thinking about turning it into something, you could use that, or you could buy something that's already quilted, like a pre-quilted. So there's lots of different options. The thing that I liked about this, if I show you the line drawing, you can see that the cut on this, I think, would be really flattering for pear-shaped, because it's got a bit of a kick in it. So I love those workwear style jackets, but sometimes I'm a pear-shaped, so I have a larger hip. Sometimes I find that I almost need a little bit of flare there to go over my hips and bottom. And this is cut like that, which I really like. It's actually, if I show you the line drawing, it's actually quite a complicated sew. There's a lot of more seam lines and things than I was expecting. So you can see there are 2 different variations. You can choose a shorter or a longer variant. There are big pockets at the front, raglan sleeve, a lovely sort of curved collar. There is also a variation where you can make it sleeveless, so it's like a little gilet as well. But the longer variation, you can see at the back, it's got some shaping at the back. You can see the seam up the back, which I think will work really well, actually. And I was thinking, oh, it's quite interesting to most things that use quilted jackets and things, I find they tend to simplify the pattern so that you have less seam lines to interrupt the pattern. But this one doesn't seem to have done that. But I think it's it looks like it would be a really fun thing to make and sew. And some of the samples, the first sample, that rainbow star, I think is just incredible. That are just beautiful. So if you are thinking quilted jacket, this is definitely one to have a proper look at, because I think the shape on it is really nice, the cut on it. So I think if you prefer something that's less baggy, this would be, and a bit more shaping, this is definitely one to have a look at. Next up, we've got a lovely homeware pattern from Merchant & Mills. It's called the Pomegranate lampshade cover. And I love this. I've seen lots of these. I was in a restaurant recently and they had done this to all the lampshades, and I thought how nice they looked. And almost a few days later, Merchant & Mills then released this. This is a really lovely way to update a kind of boring lampshade that you have at home. So it's designed for a kind of dome shaped one. All the instructions are there so that you can pick which one. It's quite kind of 70s, that 70s sort of shape. But it would make a really nice soft light in your room. I will say that picking the right type of fabric for this, obviously, like with everything, is really key. You don't want something that's super thick. Well, depending on what the light you want, but I would think you'd want something slightly lighter and sheerer so that the light comes through. You don't want to be blocking all the light. But obviously you guys know that. I don't know why I even need to say that, because we all... Yeah, so it looks like a really fun project. So if you've got something at home and you're thinking, oh, I kind of want to update this, but I'm not sure how, this would be a really good option. So next up, we've got a really fab dress from Veronica Tuckett. It's called the Cordelia dress and blouse. You can make the dress in 2 different length options, and then obviously there's the blouse length. Let's have a look at the line drawing. So there are kind of 2 variations that you can choose from. The front of the dress, you can see there are 3 lines, kind of channels sewn into it, so that you add kind of a rouleau through it and tighten them according to how you want it to look. The back of the dress is really simple. There's a little keyhole option, but kind of cut so that it's loose. If you want to add a little bit more shaping at the back, there's a variation where you can add one of those channels that is on the front on the back as well, so that you can add a bit more shaping. I think it's a really lovely pattern, perfect if anyone's got like winter weddings or something like that. Now, I'll show you the samples, the sleeveless samples. There are also some samples that you can see with sleeves. So she has just released a sort of, and if you do, this is worth knowing, if you've got any of her other patterns, she's just released a sort of separate add-on pattern, which is called the Sleeve Studio. So you get 3 different types of sleeve, which you can then add to her patterns. And so that sleeve is added to the sleeved version of the dress that we were just looking at. But I always think I feel like sleeves are something she really nails, kind of quite interesting details on them, particularly the one I'm showing you now where it kind of goes like that the whole way down. I think is lovely. So yeah, that's a little add-on. If you wanted to make the Cordelia dress with a sleeve, then you'd need to get the sleeve add-on, which is complicated, but I will pop a link to those 2 as well, just in case you're interested. So next up, Itch to Stitch, oh gosh, I didn't say this out loud, Iguazu top. I think that might be right. Maybe. We'll go for that. So this is PDF only for this one. Sizing on this is a UK 6 to 36. It's a jersey pattern, this one, obviously, so it's got some stretch, a bit of drape, and this is like a very simple basic top. I think most people could whip this up in a couple of hours. Really nice and simple. So if you're looking for a kind of, I feel like this is sort of an elevated basic. It's a long sleeve top with a cowl at the front, so you add a bit of extra detail, but kind of simple to sew. So you can choose from a long sleeve or a 3/4 sleeve. And I guess the main thing with this is picking the jersey. So if you choose something that's lighter weight, you're going to get much more drape, but it clings to everything. Whereas if you choose something a little bit thicker, you're going to get less drape around the neckline, but it'll hang a bit looser. So it depends on what you're sort of looking for. There are regular and full bust options for this as well. So for those of us with a larger bust or smaller bust, don't worry, you can sort of, there's something for everyone here. And if you do like things with bust cup options, Itch to Stitch kind of specialise in that, so they're definitely worth having a look at because all of their patterns have them, which is great. Finally, we have got 2 patterns from Cordelia Bijazon. The first one are called the Sanaz culottes. These are really great, actually. So these are PDF only. Sizing on them is a UK 6 to 22. Let's have a little look at the line drawing. So this shape is super flattering. So I have, ever since having a kid, I have got more of a tummy than I used to. This shape of waistband is super flattering if you've been blessed with a little bit more of a tummy, because it's something about the illusion of it. I personally thought this would look terrible on me, but I tried on a pair of this style in a shop and it worked really well. So you can see that kind of waistband that comes down and points at the front. That bit kind of flattens at the front, and then you've got the pleats in the trouser, which then adds all the volume, but they're not adding them at the top of your leg, they're adding them slightly further down. And there's something about the cut of that works really well if you have a bit of tummy. There are pockets, it's really wide legged, you can see the pleats are mirrored on the back. And then you can also cut them off so they're kind of more of a culotte style if you wanted them a bit shorter. And I think they look really great how they've styled them here with a boot. I think they look really amazing for winter. There's a zip up the side seam. You can see there's pockets as well. It's just a fab pattern. So if you are looking for some kind of wintry trousers, these feel like party trousers. I feel like you could wear these could be really smart. And I also like the variant that she's done where she's made it all in one fabric, so it looks like a full outfit, which would also work really well. So that is the first one. And then the second one from them is called the Erell top. Again, PDF only. Sizing on this is a UK 6 to 22. It's a really sweet little pattern. So it's a kind of polo neck style jersey pattern. You can make it short sleeve or long sleeve. The main detail is the buttons that go all the way up the neckline, which is really nice. And you can do buttons. I mean, they've got, I guess actually it wouldn't really work that well. They've got poppers here, which is probably going to work a lot better. But yeah, that feels like a very sort of like French little detail with that going up into the neckline. And again, it's like an elevated basic. It's something that you can wear a lot. It's quite simple, but that little detail then makes it feel a bit more special. So that is it from me. I hope there was something nice in there for you guys to sew, and I'll be back soon with another video. Have a lovely rest of your weekend. Bye.